Hello everybody, my name is Wilder, and today I'm going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally here, and I have put a lot of time into this game. I'm having an amazing time with this one, and because of that, I wanted to make a first impressions video. Now, I haven't beaten the game, but I have played quite a bit of it. So, to avoid spoilers, I will not be talking about or showing anything unless they're from the first few worlds. Basically, if you can find it in the trailers, minus the cutscenes, none of that here, no spoilers, then I say it's safe to show it here. Now with that out of the way, let's get into what I'm thinking of the game so far. So I'm a huge fan of the Kingdom Hearts series. I've played all the games, and I love just about each of them for different reasons. You have your moments, Birth by Sleep, you have your moments. Because of this, I've been trying to look at Kingdom Hearts 3 in a very critical light for this video, like my other reviews. And I have to say, this game is really good. Like, really good. From where I'm standing, and from my experience with the series, Kingdom Hearts 3 does a lot of stuff right, and fixes a lot of stuff that it did wrong in the past. A lot of other games are able to do this well, but I've never seen a game handle this as almost perfectly as Kingdom Hearts 3 does. Anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. First, I want to talk about how pretty this game is. The game looks amazing. The cutscenes are pretty, the areas are beautiful and so wide open for you to explore, not to mention that the game, most of the time in most areas, runs at a nice, beautiful 60 frames per second. This game is so pretty that sometimes I'll just find myself walking around taking in my surroundings. On top of how pretty the game is, there's also a lot of polish added in. If you don't know what I mean by polish, I have an example right here. When you're in the Toy Box world and you start walking around on Andy's bed, the bed will sink under Sora's feet and rise as he lifts his foot, just like a bed actually would. This is something that was not needed in this game, but the fact that it's here just for the detail is something that I will always appreciate in video games. Polish can add so much to games, and playing through Kingdom Hearts 3, I've noticed quite a bit of it. It makes the game look and feel amazing, and I appreciate it so much. If we're going to talk about how this game looks and feels though, we have to talk about something that Kingdom Hearts 3 does that almost no other Kingdom Hearts game does. And I know it's just because of their age and the console they're on, but look at all the people in Kingdom Hearts 3! In Kingdom Hearts 1, you had the main area of Traverse Town. There's lots of NPCs there. In Kingdom Hearts 2, you had the main area of Hollow Bastion and Twilight Town. Quite a few NPCs walking around, but those can't even compare to how alive and full Twilight Town alone feels in Kingdom Hearts 3. When talking about this problem throughout the series, I always like to bring up Birth by Sleep. Now again, I know it's because of the age and the systems these games are on, but Birth by Sleep especially just feels so empty. Every Disney World feels so abandoned, and it's extremely lonely and sometimes tiring. Kingdom Hearts 3 has areas full of people in almost every Disney World, and the rest still feel alive because of how they're set up. This is something that definitely makes the game look and feel so nice. Speaking of how this game feels, I want to take a second to talk about the movement. Specifically, about the movement in battles. Now here's where we come to my first problem with Kingdom Hearts 3. The battles and the combos are very big and flashy. They look amazing. But because of this, and because of the animation that comes with those combos, the gameplay suffers a little bit. Let me explain. The combos and their finishers are nice and pretty, but the animations for them are quite long, and when the combo ends, it takes a while for me to get control of Sora back, meaning that depending on the fight I'm in, I'm almost always going to have to take a hit. This is something that the Kingdom Hearts community has been debating about for quite a long time, and it's called floatiness. Kingdom Hearts 3 is very floaty. Now if you need an example of this, you only have to look at Kingdom Hearts 1 and its battle style. When you attack in that game, you have to be right next to an enemy or you'll swing at nothing. But in Kingdom Hearts 3, you can attack freely from a few feet away and Sora will magnetize to an enemy. He'll do a combo with a lengthy finisher animation and you won't actually get control of him again until a second or two after the last hit has been dealt. This means that depending on the battle that I'm actually in, when I finish a combo on one enemy, because I don't have control of Sora right away, I sometimes have to take a hit from another enemy. Now I'll admit, after playing the game for a few hours, you start to get used to it, but it's just not a whole lot of fun when you're in a boss fight and you have to take a hit after every combo, or not use your finisher to avoid the problem, which also doesn't feel nice. Finishers are meant to feel nice. They're used to top off a combo. I will say, however, I will take this floaty battle style over Kingdom Hearts 1's battle style any day. But that's a rant for another time. Anyway, it's not too big of a problem. It could be worse, but I wanted to mention it here just because it's one of the only problems I have with the game, so I might as well throw it in. However, something that does make this problem easier to deal with is Kingdom Hearts 3 has so many ways to attack. I'll start with something little. If you jump off a very high place and fall for long enough, Sora will go into a free fall, and when you get close to the ground, you can dive onto enemies with your Keyblade and do a bunch of damage. This is a lot of fun and very strong. When you're in an area with a lot of enemies, this actually becomes a pretty good way of staying safe while dealing loads of damage. Not to mention, it's super fun. Before I get ahead of myself though, I want to talk about the main way that you attack. The main way you've attacked through the entire series, your Keyblade. Your Keyblades work quite differently in this game, and it's a good thing. There's lots of variety here. Now every Keyblade has different forms. After you hit the enemy enough, you can transform your Keyblade into a different weapon such as claws or a big hammer. The hammer is my favorite, by the way. It's super strong without being super slow, and it's a lot of fun to use. Every Keyblade has a different form like this, and it's really fun to mix and match for different battles and situations. So like previous games, every time you finish a world, you get a Keyblade. But unlike in the past, when you get a new Keyblade, you won't just be equipping it because it's the strongest, and forgetting about your old ones, because all the different forms are so useful. And because of this usefulness found in each Keyblade, the game actually lets you use materials to upgrade your Keyblades. You can power up their magic and physical attack by talking to the Moogles, who are also back in this game by the way, I love them, meaning you won't have to leave behind a Keyblade just because you got it in the beginning of the game. I love the Kingdom Key. I love its simple yet iconic design, but I don't want to use one of the weakest Keyblades through the entire game. Because of this new upgrading system, however, I don't have to worry about using it, and I can also switch between Keyblades however I like. And if all that wasn't enough, this game makes it even easier to switch between your Keyblades by letting you equip not one, not two, but 3 Keyblades onto Sora at one time. And switching between them is as simple as hitting right on the D-pad. That's it. You just immediately switch, meaning that as long as you have one of the 3 equipped, you can use whatever form wherever you want. Keyblades got a huge upgrade in this game, and honestly, the series really needed it. There were Keyblades that I really liked in the past, but I would never use them for a long time because they were just too weak. I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's great. Even with all this though, there are still more ways to fight in this game. Just like in Kingdom Hearts 2, team attacks with your party members are back. You have team attacks with all the Disney characters, including Donald and Goofy, but unlike Kingdom Hearts 2, they do not take your MP away. Whenever your friends suggest it, you can press triangle to use their team attack for quite a bit of damage, and they're all really nice looking. Because you wait for your friends to suggest it, however, it means that you can't spam these moves, which is really good, and means they show up at a healthy rate. Another mechanic that shows up in battle is new to Kingdom Hearts 3, and they're called attractions. These moves are based off the amusement park rides at Disneyland, and they're super fun to use. You can ride in the spinning teacups, the swinging pirate ship, and even a roller coaster at certain points in the game. These attractions are super cool and a ton of fun to use. There are a lot of things new and improved about the battles in Kingdom Hearts 3, but the last thing that I want to bring up about it is the shot lock command. Shot lock is back, and it's pretty much the same to be honest. It's a nice way to hit a lot of enemies at once, and for dealing damage quickly, but I don't really find myself using it all that much. If I do end up using it, it's mostly for the invincibility frames that it gives me. It is nice that it's there though. Now there is one thing I wanted to bring up here that I had a problem with. There's a lot of different things you can do in Kingdom Hearts 3, and for some reason, changing your Keyblade forms, using finish commands for those Keyblade forms, using team attacks with friends, and using attractions are all activated by the triangle button. They all stack above your command menu, and you can cycle through them by hitting L2, which I didn't actually know about until I found on Twitter, so there's some advice for you. L2, very important button. But when you're in a bind and you have to cycle through all these commands, it gets very inconvenient. Not to mention the amount of times I've accidentally activated an attraction or a finisher command because I've tried to open a treasure chest with triangle. It's just baffling to me that they decided to load up the triangle button with even more uses than the previous games and didn't even see like at least a small problem with that. It just gets kind of crazy when you have all these Disney attractions showing up as you're trying to open a treasure chest. A lot of things have changed in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I cannot end this video without talking about one of the biggest, and that is the Gummi Ship. As someone who pretty much hated the Gummi Ship missions in other Kingdom Hearts games, this game makes the Gummi Ship so much fun, and honestly an absolute joy to play through. I can't believe they actually changed so much, and they're all really good changes. First of all, it's completely free roam. Can I just say, oh my god, it's completely free roam. You have complete control over the ship, and you can fly wherever, in whatever direction you want. Now the controls aren't perfect, but they're super solid. You can bring up the Gummi Ship map, and drop a waypoint on points of interest, like worlds. And they'll appear on your screen as you fly around so you don't get lost and you know where to go. Because these areas that you fly in are actually huge. There's lots to do. You can shoot asteroids in space to collect materials for synthesizing and for your Gummi Ship. You can turn the ship's engines off and just kind of hang out there and take your time shooting all the meteorites. Seriously, the Gummi Ship system has been so completely overhauled, I actually can't believe how fun it is. I also can't believe how much work went into this. There are enemies out here too, just like in the old games, and if you run into them, it locks you in a battle with them. In these battles, you go back to the old Gummi Ship style from Kingdom Hearts 2 and fight all the Heartless. You're given a grade for each battle, and you can challenge them as much or as little as you want. That's a big thing. The battles are not required. You just have to fly to the world you're going to. Now for like 2 worlds, there are big bosses that you have to fight in your Gummi Ship before you can get in, but not all of them. I've barely seen any fights that I've had to do. It's completely free, and it lets you fly around and do the things you actually want to do, and I love it for that. This new system is so great, and it's honestly perfect compared to the old one. I actually want to go fly around and find all the materials and do all the battles in the ship. I'm just completely blown away by this, honestly. It's a very much needed change. It's super awesome. I'm honestly having more fun with this game than I've had with a game in a long time. Kingdom Hearts 3 was definitely worth the wait, and I'm not even done playing it yet. The game is beautiful, it's cool, it's flashy, and most importantly, it's fun. Anyway, there are my first impressions of Kingdom Hearts 3. In my opinion, it's easily the best Kingdom Hearts game. No contest whatsoever for me. What do you think? Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? Are you having fun with the game? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to go play some more of the game now, so thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one.